Share the screen. Okay, this is where we had stopped. You are able to recall, this is the last part of Unit 5. In fact, Unit 5 comprised of 4 subunits. To recapitulate, the first one was leverage decisions, second one is agency cost, third one is financial distress and bankruptcy, and fourth one is IPO and M&A valuations. Of this, I was doing some annotation and finding some people able to annotate. Okay. Yeah, we had noted that there are several methodologies available for valuation in case of mergers and acquisitions. I hope this slide is visible, the things are visible there. We have listed at least 6 different methodologies. The first one is stock performance analysis on the basis of the price trends, price movements, status of the price over a given period of time would be considered for fixing the or the purchase consideration for the shares or the stocks of the target company on that basis. For example, if the target company's shares are being traded at, let's say, 50 rupees per share, and so many paid up shares are there, right? Majority shareholders, so many paid up shares are there. Number of paid up shares into the current market price. That would be the exchange ratio or the price purchase consideration that is expected to be paid by the acquirer to the target company. That's how the acquiring company will be fixing the purchase consideration or the value to be paid for the acquisition or takeover or the purchase of the identified target company. That is stock performance analysis. Analysis of the price performance, price trends, price movements of the target company's stocks, target company's shares. On that basis, value will be worked out, value will be computed, and purchase consideration will be computed and negotiated for payment, for receipt, and for closing of the M&A deal. The next is premium paid analysis. Measured as premium paid above the pre-announcement price is based on sample problem, yields control synergistic level of value. This is again a continuation of the stock performance alliance where over and above the stock price identified and being considered for the exchange ratio, the acquiring company may like to or may be ready to pay a premium if it badly wants to acquire the target company at any cost. It might like to pay a premium above the current market price of the shares of the target company. That is probably the acquiring company expects to get some synergies from this deal, so it is ready to pay. It thinks probably it thinks paying a premium would be justified, would not be a loss, right? To acquire this company because it would amount to a kind of synergy, additional value creation for the acquiring company. That's why this methodology may be used in some cases. Discounted cash flow analysis, you are quite aware where the estimated cash flows would be estimated or projected, they would be discounted at an appropriate discount factor, which is normally the weighted average cost of capital, and the present value of the future cash flows expected from the deal, expected from the acquisition. acquisition or takeover deal would be worked out on that basis. Value payable to the target company would be worked out. Its intrinsic value of the business, present value of projected unlevered free cash flows, very flexible, can yield the value indications at various levels of value. So, depending upon your assumptions as to the projected cash flows, whether you are going to project with future cash flows post merger or acquisition on a very conventional level or on a very high optimistic level or an average level, you can project at 2-3 levels. You can discount them, find out the present value at the different levels, various levels of the value, and accordingly you can work out and compute the value you would like to pay for this acquisition or to pay to the target company shareholders to acquire the assets of the business. So very popular, very widely followed, and very simple valuation methodology that is being followed in M&A. The first one is on the basis of the price performance of the target company's shares. Second one, an improvement over the first method, that is a premium added on to the current market price of the target company shares in the expectation of certain synergies. Third one, the very well-known discounted cash flow method, where the cash flows, future cash flows, post the merger, if the merger takes place, to be projected right at the different scenarios, at multiple scenarios, and the NPV at multiple scenarios, multiple levels, right, multiple quantum of future cash flows would be worked out, and an ideal realistic NPV would be considered as a basis for computing the value for the target company. Then comparable company analysis, yet another simple methodology. If you are taking over, or if you are considering the takeover of company A, and if you think that in the just recent past, in the just concluded financial year, during the last 3 months, a similar company of similar size, similar nature of business, similar turnover, similar profitability, similar management, etc., almost similar, if not totally similar. Company has been taken over by another company, say for 100 crores, then you might strike this deal. That is your proposed deal of taking over company A, which is similar to the comparable company, maybe around say 95 crores to 105 crores, at 5% plus or minus, you might work out and complete the valuation and complete the deal. So comparable company in the recent past, especially when such things are taking place, you can identify one ideal company which is very close to the target company, right? The target company you have identified for takeover, similar in terms of turnover, product line, market size, etc., etc., and work out your estimated value for the target company. That is again a simple thing. Another thing is comparable acquisition analysis. One step further. In the comparable company analysis, that company might or might not have been taken over. But here in this comparable acquisition analysis, you go one step further. You are going to identify a comparable company which has been recently taken over by another company, where the M&A deal has been closed in the recent past, last 6 months, 3 months, or 1 year. If all the metrics, all the financial metrics are more or less the same, probably you would work out, you would compute the purchase price payable to the target company on similar lines, on what has been paid in the example you are considering. So it is one step further. Then last one is leveraged buyout analysis. Leveraged buyout analysis, probably you are aware, where you are going to raise debt, you are using that debt to buy the target company. Here the value to a financial buyer, value based on debt repayment and return on investment, and it is control level of value. So here you are going to examine the price payable to the target company on the basis of the debt you have raised and the debt payment you have to make in future, and what is the return expected from out of this. It is a bit complex. You will have to roll into, you have to consider multiple issues here. On one, the amount of debt you are going to raise to leverage this deal. Second one, the principal and interest payment, the cash outflows that may have to be incurred, right, for servicing the debt you have raised to take over the target company. Third one, the expected cash flows from the target company post the merger, post the takeover, and all this you are going to consider to work out an ideal or realistic value for the target company. Compared to the first five methodologies, this appears to be slightly complex, involving at least 2-3 different parameters. But still, wherever the acquiring company plans to take over a target company, not from its own equity, but it wants to raise the debt to finance or fund this takeover deal or this purchase deal, then this methodology is stated to be useful. So complex, it is expected to give very realistic projections of the price payable or the value payable to the target companies shareholders. So that is the last part of valuation methodologies. These things again have been explained here. You can look at this slide, what I have explained in the previous 2 slides. They have been compiled here. One of the most common approaches relies on trading multiples of comparable companies in the public markets. Another approach is to look at the industry M&A deal for similar targets. Third and fourth and fifth methodologies we have seen in the previous diagram. If reliable long-term forecast based on DCF, the third methodology we have seen in that diagram. And the target, if the target company is likely to attract financial buyers, then it would also be prudent to value the company using NPV analysis, the last methodology we have seen in this diagram. So this slide, please have a look at this slide. This slide captures the essence of the previous diagram, the diagram shown on the previous slide about different valuation methodologies in a M&A situation or M&A context. Who has joined of late? Srimanta has joined. Then who is this? JZ45? Is JZ45 there?
So Rachana
Rachana Mandre. I'm just trying to cross check whether you are still there. Rupa Nayak has joined. Umesh had already joined, of course. Shantaram Bharadwaj has come. Very good, Shantaram. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes, Shantaram.
sir. Yes.
So 28, same as yesterday. I am really worried about, really concerned about those remaining 30 people. I don't know about their whereabouts. Hope they are all healthy. They are not affected by all this current problem. They are all keeping good health. Whether they come to the class or not. Please keep on checking. You might be having their numbers and all. Please call them up and check about their well-being. Okay? And convey my good wishes to them. Okay. Mashika, will you do this? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Please keeping checking on the health of condition of your friends, classmates who are not attending. Mary, Shweta and Mary, I think she should have contacted all these fellows. 30 plus students who are not turning up for these classes. Please note, all these are being recorded. All my observations are here. Well, the next phase of the valuation analysis involves assessing what the value of the acquirer will be pro forma for the acquisition. Of course, this entire valuation business we are talking about is from the perspective of the acquirer, the company which acquires another company. From the buyer's perspective or acquirer's perspective, a good deal is one. Good deal here means a good M&A deal, right? M&A proposal is one that is accretive to the acquirer's stock price. Accretive means it is going to add value to the acquiring company's stock price. That means post acquisition, the acquiring companies, the acquirers' stock prices should go up. Assume that before pre-acquisition, pre-takeover, these shares were being traded at say 100 rupees per share, whereas post-acquisition, it should be able to trade at say 110 rupees, 120 rupees, 130 rupees. That means market values, market has identified the synergy in this deal, and accordingly it has rewarded your stock price. Earlier before deal because we were trading at 100 rupees, now it is trading at 150 rupees, means market has been rewarding, right? Your deal market has considered your deal as very synergistic, very value accretive or value additive. Value accretive is adding value to your share or whatever. Okay. Even at the low end of the range of expected synergy, even at the minimum synergy, the value must be high. Post acquisition, post merger, post takeover share price of the acquiring company should go up. That is a very good indication of a very successful, very profitable deal. It is also an indication that the acquiring company has paid a very realistic value to take over this target company. It has not paid anything excess. It has not incurred any loss in acquiring this. It has not created any financial burden on itself by taking over this asset. That is the indication of any rise in the stock price of the acquiring company post the acquisition, post the merger. That is, market is viewing your deal, the deal you have just concluded, very positive, very favorable. That's why people are, investors are ready to pay a higher price to buy your company because they have identified a lot of synergies accruing to your company thanks to this merger deal. So that is an indication. In performing this valuation analysis, there are factors that need to be carefully analyzed before determining the viability activity. Yes, a lot of care, caution, due diligence have to be conducted by the acquiring company before taking over or acquiring or absorbing another company. You have to be very, very clear, very, very cautious in working out the valuation. If it is low, it might not, the deal might not fall through. If it is too high, you might incur a lot of financial loss and further in the future. So that may even, the market may even punish you for this careless management of M&A. So you have to be very, very careful. Some of these factors which you have to consider while negotiating, while working out and negotiating a value or purchase price or purchase consideration to take over the target company. Some of these factors include amount of the expected synergies. What is that extra this takeover would bring to my company, bring to the wealth of my shareholders, value of my shareholders, or the valuation of my company? What is that extra? That is called synergy. So the amount of synergy expected from this deal, whether it is 1 plus 1 3 or 1 plus 2 4 or 1 plus 1 just 2. That has to be clearly concluded. The cost associated with realizing those post merger, in order to acquire, in order to accomplish or realize those expected synergies, are you required to make any further investment? You might have taken over a loss-making company, thinking that this would bring some synergies in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, in terms of assets, etc. But post merger, you might have to make some more investment in renovating that sick company which take control. Otherwise, you would not be able to get those extra places. Right? It would be a burden unless you renovate those assets taken over. They might have been sick, they might not have been used for the last 2-3 years. So you to put them to renovate them, you may have to spend say 2-3 crores extra. So that also you have to take into account. Not only the expectation of this, but the cost likely to be incurred post merger, post acquisition to realize those expected synergies. These synergies might not flow easily or as it is. You may have to spend something extra to put the whole process in order. The amount and type of purchase consideration is very, very clear. What is the amount you have to pay and how you are going to pay this purchase, whether it is all cash deal or if there is cost and cash and stock or if it is only stock, different forms of the purchase consideration which we have in the new implications of the dimensions of the acquiring company. And lastly, trading multiples for the acquired stock. And what is, as we saw in the previous slide, the previous bullet point, what is its likely impact on my stock? My stock price is currently 100 rupees. Whether it is going to rise above 100 rupees, and if yes, by what percentage, or if it is going to fall below 100 rupees, that is existing pre acquisition price, and if yes, by what percent. This has also to be extrapolated or forecast. Then you have to take an appropriate decision. You can only say an appropriate decision. What decision you have to take, we don't know. So you have to totally give up this proposal, or whether to reduce the purchase consideration of the value you are planning to pay, or to postpone it to another 6 months or 3 months. You have to take an appropriate decision, take into account these important factors. Important factors are there. Please try to understand the implication of these factors on M&A valuation as a target, as a acquiring company, see the heading, right? You have to fix, because it is you, the acquirer, who is going to pay out, shell out the money to take over the target. So you will have to be extra careful in computing the price payable, the valuation of the target. And the last part of this, last slide of this lecture, having established both the market value of the target and the value of the target to the acquirer is in a good position to negotiate with the seller. So you know the market price. Market price is 100 rupees. But your calculations, your financial management team has suggested that if you start from 90 crores, probably you'll be able to get 95 crores and you will have 5 crores surplus. So now you are in a good position to negotiate with the seller. But you should know what is the market price and what is the intrinsic price you are ready to pay. Many times this happens. The asset is worth, say, so many, maybe for example, a site is worth, say, 25 lakhs. That is the current market price. And you think this can be brought for 20 lakhs also. Then if you are able to buy this at 20 lakhs, you have made a surplus of 5 lakhs. So you are in a better position to know whether the seller is going to insist on the current market price, or whether he is ready to bargain, whether he is ready to come down by a couple of lakhs or crores, depending upon the deal. So now, by knowing this, the market value of the target company, the current market value, what the market is ready to pay, and what is the value for you, might be very good, but that might not be useful at that price for you, the acquiring company. So you might have set a different price according to its value to your company. The general market says 25 lakhs is the value for that site, but for you it might not be. It might be only worth only 20 lakhs or 15 lakhs. Then you know these two inputs, you will be in a better position to negotiate with the seller. A buyer may be willing to pay up to the market level, but the buyer should be careful in paying for synergies beyond that point. Ultimately, what matters is what is the value addition from this. See, what is the synergy and what is the value of that synergy? How soon you are going to realize that synergy? at what extra cost, if at all, you have to incur. That should be the bottom line in working out the valuation. Because M&A, ultimately, it is an inorganic expansion of your company. Unless there is some kind of synergy, you should not enter into the M&A. So identify the synergy that is expected to be obtained from this deal, and try to work out compute the financial value of this synergy, or the value addition of this synergy or this deal to your company, and compute the value payable to the target company. That probably sums up the whole M&A valuation process. The buyer may be willing to pay up to the market level of synergy, but you should be careful paying for synergies beyond that. Beyond that, if you pay only like a premium, it might be even a loss, right? Even a further. Synergy should be the final point where you should stop at, stop your negotiation, or beyond that, it is not advisable to pay anything more for this one. Accordingly, you have to set the valuation for this deal. So that concludes this unit. Hope you have been able to go through all these things. I'm going to stop sharing this and going to end the meeting here. Right. Hope you are able to see. So in the next class, we shall take up last unit of this one. But I'll first complete all the theory part, and later on we can take up the topics. Is it okay? Hello? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Okay, I'm ending this meeting now. Okay, take care.
Thank you,
Keep
sir.
attending the classes.
Thank you, sir.
Neha Kaushar has joined. Oh, yes. Somebody have already left. Probably somebody were very in a hurry. Has joined. Okay, thank you all. Right, keep attending these classes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
One day